See, now we are going to solve this problem where we have two inputs and two outputs. That is, for multiple input, multiple output we are going to solve. Already we have solved for two input problems. Okay, similar way we have to do. While doing like that, what happens? Once one input will be considered, another input will be suppressed. When we are considering this input, we will consider this as the output. When this is 0, this will be suppressed. Similar way, we have to find out for all the transfer function for all the values. When there was two input, one output, we had two transfer function. Now let's see how many transfer functions we will get. Okay, in case 1, what I do is, case 1, I will consider R1. Okay, consider R1 as input and C1 as output. Then R2 is equal to 0 I will put, and C2 will be suppressed. Okay, when this is the case, my transfer function will be C1 by R1. Okay, when I am doing like this, what will happen is, you can see this diagram. What will happen? Okay, this is my diagram. When I give this, see, this is minus sign available here. When I make this R2 as 0, when 0 is here, when I am supposed to remove this block, it should have some value. We have discussed this one in the second problem. So I am going to replace this summing point by a block of 1. As we have minus sign coming, I will replace it by using minus 1. So same, for that purpose I am drawing the circuit here in order to show this case. I have an input of R1, summing point, G. Okay, now what is my condition I put? I have removed that block and hence I will replace it by a value of minus 1. Okay, now this is, now this input is connected to this G3. You can see it in the problem. It's connected to G3, and from G3 it is connected to this point. Okay, next from C2, I'm from this G2, I'm not getting C2, but instead it is connected to this point. Okay. Now this will be my circuit. Okay, this will be my circuit. Now let's see how the flow is. Okay, see, R1 is coming here and I'm passing it to this block. This block, I will get it one output as C1. So my forward path I have to write as it is. My forward path will be as it is. Okay, forward path will be input R1, summing point will be there, then I have a block of G1, then C1 will be there as it is. Next, track the feedback loop. See, from this point it is, we are going to find the track of this. So it is coming like this, one output is coming like this and passing through G3. So from here it is coming and first block it is crossing at G3. Okay, next after passing from G3 it is taking the path and you are getting another block of minus 1. After minus 1 I will have another block of G2. Then from G2 it is traveling and it is reaching a block of G4. And from G4 it is going to this summer. From G4 it is reaching this summing point. So now this will be my circuit. I have stretched this connection, that's all. Now what I have, I'm going to apply my rules. What is my rules? When the blocks are in series, they get multiplied. So G1 is as it is and I'm going to get C1 here. So now what will happen is, I have to find the blocks. When the blocks are in series, they will get multiplied. Now after multiplication, it will be minus G2, G3 and G4. These blocks will get multiplied. Now what will happen? It shows one block in forward path, one block in feedback path, one summing point and one takeaway point. So this will act as a, this entire thing will now act as a minor feedback loop. Minor feedback loop. So minor feedback loop, what is the formula? G divided by 1 plus or minus G into H. Now here G is G1 divided by 1. Here minus sign, so plus G1 into minus G2, G3, G4. Why? It is H value. Okay. Hence the transfer function is C1 divided by R1, which is equal to G1 divided by 1 minus G1, G2, G3, G4. This is the first transfer function, case 1. Okay. Next, case 2. Case 2, what I am going to do is, I am going to suppress C1. C1 I am going to suppress. That means what does indicate? C1 is suppressed means what does it indicate? R1 is equal to 0. Okay. C1 is suppressed. R1 is equal to 0. Now what will be my C1 is suppressed. C1 is not there. So my circuit will be like this. R1 is 0. When it is 0, it should be mentioned by a block of minus 1. Okay. Then this part will not be there. So my minus 1 to, I have G1. Okay. Then from G1, let me write all the blocks first. G4, G3, G2. R1 is not there, but R2 is there. R2 is there. Okay. When R2 is there, I will have C2 also. So the denominator line is no, it is present. Okay. Now from this circuit, where it should come, from this point it should come to G3. It should come to G3. From G3 it should come to this point. Retain the circuit now as it is. Okay. Now from this one block is coming to G4, and from G4 it is to come to this. Okay. Now we will find the first write the input and the output. Okay. From this what I have is, I have R2 as input. I have one summing point, one block in forward path, that is my G2 and C2. This last output line I have written. Now from this I am going to track the output from this. See, now the input is coming like this. One output I have taken at C2. Okay, this line I finished here. Now trace the path. From G2 it is going like this. Now G2 is the block in forward path. Now which is in feedback loop, we have to find out. So go track your path here. So first path what you get is G4. So let me write that. While tracking, my first block is G4. Okay. Next, again start your travel. From G4 if I am moving, I will get a block of G1. I got a minus block of G1. From G1 it has to pass to G1. Next I have from minus 1, after that I have G1. G1 is there. Then from G1 again you have to track the path. It is going to G3, and that G3 should meet at the next summing point. I have a block of G3 here. That G3 should come and meet here. Okay. Now what happened? I have R2 as input. I have a summing point here. I have a block of G2, then output C2. Okay. Now this in feedback loop what I have blocks in series. When the blocks are in series, what will happen? They get multiplied. So it is minus G1, G3 and G4 are the blocks in series. Okay. Now one block G2 is in forward path. This block is in feedback path. Input is R2, output is C2. So transfer function is C2 by R2, that is equal to apply this G numerator G. G is G2 divided by 1. 9 negative sign. So it is 1 plus G2 into H2, that is minus G1, G3, G4. This is my transfer function, which is nothing but G2 divided by 1 minus G1, G2, G3 and G4. This is my transfer function C2 by R2. Second transfer function we got from this problem. Okay, next case 3. Case 3, what I will do is I'll keep R1. Okay, R2 I will make it as 0. Then assume C1 is suppressed. R2 is present and you are going to assume that C1 is 0. Now let's imagine how our circuit will be there. Okay. So this is our given circuit. Now let's see how I can write the circuit here. So what are the things told? R2 is 0. That means R1 is available. R1. I have a summing point here. Then C2 is suppressed. That means I don't have output at C2. I will stop here. Okay. Then draw the remaining blocks G4, G3, G2. Okay. Now what you have told? R2 is 0. When R2 is 0, what I should write? Should write by a block of minus 1. Then I have the output at C2. I have output at C2. Okay. Next. Okay. Now from this, now track from here. C1 is not there. So C1 is suppressed here. C1 is not there. So let me see how my output comes. Now it has to travel through G3. Come and meet at this point. Next from this, it will travel here and then trap here. Come at this point. Okay. Now this is my circuit. Here I have R1 and C2. So my transfer function will be C2 by R1 is my transfer function. Okay. Now what I will do? I will see which is my output and which is my input, which is connected in forward path, which is there in the feedback path. For that, first I should write my input, that is R1. I have a block here. Now let's trace the signal. See, it is traveling like this. It is traveling like this. Okay. And where it is coming to? It is traveling and it is coming here. At C2 it is coming. Okay. Next. Another input is present where it is, which is not traced now. See, from this C2, I have a C2 is here. See, this path you trace like this. So now it will be a feedback loop. Okay. At this point, you have a block of G4. See, G4, a part of the output that is coming at this, it is being taken at G2. Okay. Next, this input how I will get? See, now it is in forward block. See, from the summing point I am tracing here. From the summing point I am tracing. See, first sum the summing point what I have? I have G1. Then it is travel and I have G3. then I have minus 1, and then I have G2, so I will write it as minus G2. Then it is coming to the C2. Okay, this is how you have to trace which is in forward path, which is in reverse path. Okay, when the blocks are in forward path, what I should do? Get multiplied. G1, G2, G3 is now obtained at straight line. Next up, at the summing point, I have a block of G4. So now this will be my feedback loop H. So what will be the transfer function? C2 by R1 is equal to G. My G is minus G1 minus G2 minus G3 is my G divided by 1. Minus sign is here, so it is plus minus G1, G2, G3 into G4. So what I get? Minus G1, G2, G3 divided by 1 minus G1, G2, G3, G4 is the transfer function. So that is my transfer function. Minus G1, G2, G3, 1 minus G1, G2, G3, G4. This is how my transfer function. This is my third transfer function. Okay, third transfer function. Next up, case 4 I have to find out. Case, where is that problem? Okay, now case 4 I have to see. In case 4 what they have told is, we have to see. Okay, now what I will do, R1 I will consider it as 0. Okay, then I am going to C2 I am going to suppress. That means R2 is available, C1 is available. This should be my circuit. So what I do, R1 I will write, I have a summing point here, block of G1, I'll write all the blocks. Okay, now what I have told is C1 is existing, C1 is existing. Okay, then a part of output from here, it is connected to G3. Then what I have told here R1 is sorry,